Hello world of YouTube and welcome to the beginning of the third session of
Expectations. Reality.
the segment where I take games from my backlog, set them up in one video, and play them for a couple of months before I break them down in a second one. And this is the first one. Now, like I said in the end of session 2, I learned a lot from that session. There was a lot of personal issues I had with getting through the 3 games I set up. I inevitably had to move one to this one and just tackle 2 of them. But I feel like I've got a good batch of games this time, and before I get into them, I do also want to establish one other caveat I'm going to test. I'm going to see how I like it. But I liked having Kingdom Hearts 3 on the docket, even if it was a game that I was ultimately let down by greatly. I want to continue that trend and have at least one newer game in the mix, and hopefully I can keep with this. But if I don't, I'm fine just sticking to other games from the backlog. I have a big enough backlog anyway that I can pull from. I want to experiment. I love experimenting with things. You guys know that. So I'm going to have a new game in one of the slots as well. And yeah, so let's just break down the games in general. My expectations for this game don't really need to be set because, well, I have pretty high expectations for this. I know a lot of people really love this game. I know for the GameCube and for the RPG scene in general, this is a highly beloved title. I talked about it in the second session. If you want to see my expectations, they're going to be right here or right there, one of the two. But I'm excited for this game. I think it looks like a lot of fun. I've never played a Paper Mario, and we'll see how I feel about it in a couple of months because I'm playing that first, or at least starting it relatively soon.
The body of Jeremy Bowles was found this morning on a patch of wasteland in the East End at about 6:30 a.m., 5 days after he was reported missing. An autopsy will be conducted tomorrow to determine the exact cause of death, but going from first indications, it would seem that he drowned.
Now the second game, the shorter game, I will say, the shorter of the 3 games seemingly, is going to be a game that was suggested in one of my streams. It was a game that I've had for a little bit. It was one of the first free games I got when I got my PlayStation 4, and that's Heavy Rain. Now this style of game I'm not the biggest fan of. This very quick time event centric, super stripped back as far as gameplay mechanics are considered type game. I don't think they're terrible, but like I lump this in the same camp that I do like a Telltale Games type game. And I don't hate the Telltale Games type games, and I love games with a heavy focus on narrative, but I feel like games like this either end up one of 2 ways. They either are really fucking great, or they are super boring to sit through. And I'm not saying that The Walking Dead, which is the only Telltale game I've played, was in the second camp, but I personally didn't feel compelled to finish it, and that could have been for a myriad of reasons. Heavy Rain is a game that I've heard is incredibly well told. I've heard that the story is super compelling and that the characters you see on screen are well written, and I hope that it is. I have very tepid expectations for this game, given my preference of game style, but I'm always willing to experience something new. And I figured if I was gonna play a David Cage game, it would be this one of his most revered ones, especially given every game after this has been a mixed fucking bag. I know that this game has its memed moments like the press X to Jason, but I don't know really much else other than that. I don't really know much about the scenes, where the game goes, any of the endings, because I know that there's multiple endings, but I don't know any of them. And I like a good crime story, so I'm hoping that I enjoy this one.
Invert!
Now, the last game I'm playing, the new game, is one that a lot of people are excited for me to play. And that's Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I almost said Curse of the Moon, because you guys know, if you've watched the channel for a while, you know I love Bloodstained, and you know I love Castlevania. I've talked about both ad nauseum ever since I've been back on the internet. And I am excited for this game. That's goes without saying. Out of the 3 games here, this is probably the one I'm the most excited to play. I don't know how long it is. I don't know much about the game itself, the final game itself, other than what Curse of the Night sets up. But that setup is something that I'm very excited to see play out in front of me. This is one that I'll be playing very, very soon on stream. The only one I won't be playing on stream is Paper Mario, because I haven't gotten my SD stuff settled for that. But I hope you guys join me for the Bloodstained streams. I feel like I don't need to say much for my expectations for this game, because it's a game that I'm very excited for. And you guys, if you watch any of my gaming content, know I am very excited for this game. But nevertheless, I am playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night for the channel for this segment. So hopefully you guys are excited for the streams of these games. I'll be playing them very, very soon. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support here and on Patreon. I don't plan on delaying this 3rd session. I plan on getting it out in September. So hopefully you're excited for that. I'm going to go. I've been Viral Rack. You guys have good days, lives, and situations. And I'll see you another day.